Hello everyone, welcome to Jupiter in the 7th house of your chart. This video is good for you if you have Jupiter 7 houses away from your ascendant or rising sign. This is also good for the Western system, but make sure you are using equal house or sign for a house. I'm also exploring the important aspects Jupiter makes from this position. If you are new to my channel, sub below. Let's begin. What then is the 7th house in your chart, everyone? The 7th house is a house of partnerships, spouse, all of your close relationships, including actually very close friendships. It's the marketplace of the world where you meet other people to barter. It's very important for business people. This is also a house of some conflict because it's actually the house where we go to war. It's the actual people who are opposing us, represented by ascendant. So contention, quarrels are often found in this 7th house. It's also where you find consultants, people who you consult for advice, and where you yourself professionally may give advice to other people. And who is Jupiter? Jupiter is guru or guide, the pure spiritual being who takes us away from the mire of this material world by giving us the greatest gift, the gift of wisdom and insight. He is our greatest benefactor. Jupiter is also karaka or significator for your wealth, for your children, your education, marriage in a female chart, and also elder brother. So what happens when Jupiter, such a high-minded being, is placed in the 7th house of your chart? In the Vedic system, Jupiter does not light up so brightly where he sits as where he actually aspects. So in your case, he lights up so strongly your 11th house of income and network circles, your 1st house of self, and your 3rd house of younger siblings, skill base, and courage. But of course, Jupiter will have a great influence on your marriage and your partnerships in life in this house. Jupiter is actually representing the tradition of marriage in all charts, male and female. Therefore, you are a very traditionalist in this area. You want a loyal and dependable spouse, and most importantly, a spouse who has high morals and with whom you can share your deep philosophical and very often religious principles. Strangely enough, though, Jupiter actually brings into your life people and partners from foreign lands, from different cultures, different philosophical backgrounds. But the most important factor is that there has to be a meeting of minds for you to be truly happy. You also seek in a marriage partner financial security, both male and female. You don't want to feel worse off in your marriage state than you were before. In fact, very often, marriage takes you up a notch in life. Marriage gives you more financial security than you had before. This is especially true for female chart because Jupiter here represents husband. So very often, husband is well off and a very moral and high-minded person who has your back. It's normally quite fortunate. 7th house also represents the marketplace of life, the skills that we offer to others often in our profession. Jupiter here often makes you a very educated person, mostly someone who has great learning and knowledge, and more than anything you want to share this with others. So very often you can be a teacher, anybody in educational setting, or some sort of a guide, counselor who gives advice and your knowledge to others to promote their well-being. You also receive good advice from people who you consult in any professional situation as well. If there is affliction, though, to this 7th house Jupiter, there can be a few issues. First of all, a general dissatisfaction with other people in general. You see, what's happening is Jupiter's Digbala position is the 1st house. And this Jupiter is the furthest away from that position of dignity. Therefore, it does give this feeling of the grass is always greener. You're always looking for the highest ideal situation, and life isn't always living up to that. Therefore, there can be sometimes more than one marriage here. Jupiter also can bring you into difficult discussions and contentions with others. This is because 7th house represents, as I said previously, quarrels and contentions. Very often this is about belief systems, philosophy, morals, and you can get yourself into some tricky situations with people in general because of this. So let's move on now to consider Jupiter's important aspects on the 11th, 1st and 3rd house of your chart. Now, Jupiter's 5th aspect is on the 11th house of income and assets. It's most fortunate. It gives you an almost expanding income in your life, always new streams of income. Why? Because Jupiter often gives more than one skill set, more than one profession even. I've actually seen this. So as one door shuts, another door opens continually for you, and you are noticed by superiors. You go right to the top of your professional earning capacity, many of you. And even if there is affliction in this 11th house, you come out of it because Jupiter is a bit like a magic purse. So when you get to your lowest financial situation, when that purse is completely empty, Jupiter will fill it up as if by magic right to the top again, with new opportunities, new doors opening to you. Jupiter also expands continually network circles. Jupiter brings new friends almost always into your life, but they're always going as well because of this expansion factor. So you're always moving on into new networks, leaving old behind. And your best friends are very often those who share your deeply held philosophical belief systems without doubt. Jupiter's 7th aspect onto your ascendant increases your optimism in life. You have a very philosophical attitude to life, as I say, a great love of philosophy, religion and truth. You are definitely going to want to share this though with other people because of this Kendra factor, and many of you can be a little bit preachy at times about your beliefs if there is affliction to this Jupiter as well. But on the whole though, this aspect makes you a very generous, caring, giving person. You want to serve humanity. You want to do good in the world. It's really, really important to you. One minus is you have to watch for overindulgence because Jupiter is excess and aspecting first house. There can be eating issues or perhaps just a very sweet tooth that is hard to control. Finally, Jupiter's 9th aspect is on the 3rd house of your chart, increasing fortune from siblings. Communication with your siblings is often excellent. Very often, both elder and younger siblings are fortunate for you. And I've even seen that they themselves can have high source of income in their life. Or at the very least, they are very helpful to you financially also. You have a great ability to learn new skills all through life. As I say, it's a great source of income for you, particularly from communication skills and writing skills, at which you are definitely expert. You are also a very courageous person. No matter what happens to you in life, your courage and determination sees you through the most difficult circumstances. And finally, you love to move around. You like to travel. It gives you great enjoyment and happiness in life. Up on your screen right now, Jupiter in all the signs. Check that out to find the karmas of your Jupiter position. Don't forget to sub to my channel if you haven't already. New videos coming up regularly on Vedic and indeed all astrology. Goodbye for now, and God bless you all.